Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Show Review with Mike G, the show of a life, the show of San Francisco, East Bay, having a massive career in the hospitality industry and living up to your parents' expectations in the Asian community. Today's guest is amazing, Sharon Yeung of the Roosevelt Room. This week, I wanted to devote to powerful women that just so happened to work at the Roosevelt Room and the sister shop, The Eleanor in Austin, Texas. It was great to sit down and chat with Sharon. This is the first dive into her personal life and this whole voyage, this whole journey for her on record. You know, not a lot of press about Sharon, and I think it's a good thing to talk about, and I think she just wants to get the job done and learn as much as possible. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoyed this great chat with Sharon Yeung of the Roosevelt Room.
I don't know. I feel like the noob of this industry.
The noob?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I'm just like the little guy, like still trying to learn everything. And
yeah.
Being under like Dennis and Justin, I feel extremely blessed to like be a part of this like crazy bar program, and I don't even know how to explain it. I just feel like for like the first time in my life, I feel like I'm awake, and this is like what I actually want to do.
Awake?
Yeah. I mean,
like a purpose maybe?
Kind of. I mean, in my 20s, I was just kind of working at bars, just making money and having fun with friends and just kind of bullshitting.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it goes for us. Yeah.
For sure. But also kind of feeling a little lost in a way. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? So when I finally moved to Austin and they offered me a job there, I was like, holy shit. Like, this is incredible. I think I could actually see myself doing this for a really long time.
Yeah. It was kind of maybe the truly advanced and mature role, maybe.
For sure.
Do you like the fact that two really brilliant minds said, you know what? We see something in you. Does that scare you at all that those two guys are like, nope,
it's
Sharon,
very
you're going to be the
flattering.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah, I don't know. I feel special.
It's good. It's a good thing, right?
That they saw potential in me. And I mean, originally back at home, I was like bartending, and my first love is actually food. I've been cooking.
Were you a chef then?
I did work in the kitchen for a while, and it sucked.
It's different though. Different level of hustle.
Different.
Right? Yeah.
It's so different.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that then, because with some of our peers, there's plenty written about them. There's lots of stuff on record. They're from this place. This was the momentous occasion in which they started a bar. Dennis has a great story. Justin, Alex, etc. Right? But for you, you said that you moved to East Bay, but you were born more or less in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And what siblings? Big family?
Small family. I have one brother. He's 11 years older than myself.
No kidding.
Oh my gosh, we have such a small family. Just me, my brother, my mom, my dad.
Yeah. Where are they from originally?
Southern China. I don't even know
China.
I don't even know how to say like the cities in
you didn't
English.
have to. But Southern China. I mean, so all right. Is it fair to say then they play? We'll talk about music here in a second. I know it sucks that there's this stereotypical thing where it's like you have to play piano. It's just I saw a movie about it in the 80s, and ever since then, for some reason, Chinese children have to play piano.
Yeah.
It's strange, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But being young, being in San Francisco, but you were born in the States, and culturally, San Francisco's got a lot of different things going on. Did you ever think that it was that you were different, that things were, you were in a foreign land even though you were born here?
For sure.
Really?
It's hard. So I'm first generation American.
Yeah.
And even to this day, I speak Cantonese to my parents.
Do you really?
I'm
That's amazing,
it's
though.
like, it's turned into Chinglish, you know, since I've moved, so I don't speak it as often as I would like. But I feel like there's always this like struggle to maintain like what they want me to become. I mean, it's totally not a stereotype. Like, yeah, you should go to college, like UCLA, Berkeley, get a master's or whatever, and become a doctor and make millions of dollars and then have kids. But I'm so like going against the grain of that. So I feel like there's this constant struggle for me.
So when you were growing up, obviously they want you to be academic focused,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or rather academically focused.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have more of a creative mind? Something that's like a little more loose cannon, a little more Western, if you will?
I think that was like the whole food thing.
Yeah.
I remember having like an easy bake oven and like a little stovetop. Yeah. And I would pretend like I was in like teaching a cooking class.
Yeah.
And Julia Child was like my inspiration, you know.
Really?
I used to watch her all the time, just like obsessed.
That's
like
amazing.
I thought she was like the coolest person in the world.
She is.
Yeah, she is.
What did you think about the movie? Is it Julie and
I haven't seen it.
It's really fun. And it makes me want to learn classic mother sauces.
Yeah. So important.
So it's very important. I mean, I was talking about this the other day, actually. And it was, there's the Manhattan, the Martinez, the Martini, the Daiquiri, Sidecar. These classic cocktails. And it's just like the mother sauces. There's lots of things that they have in common with each other. So I'm sure that at some point this evolves and we'll talk about that. But all right, so you really want to cook. Are there other things about the West, about like American culture that were really appealing to you because they were different?
No, I don't think so.
Because I think about Beverly Hills 90210 kind of, because
Mm-hmm.
I grew up I'm probably a little bit older than you. Everybody was so fascinated with the white dudes with the spiky hair, But I wonder if that's kind of a thing too for people. It's like, if it's different, it's better. Because in a way, it's me rebelling against what my parents want.
Right.
Is that kind of the same thing for you?
Kind of.
Yeah. Does music work like in that way as well?
Even the whole piano thing, I remember asking my mom when I joined band like in middle school, I'm like, I really want to play the saxophone. Like, I think it would be really cool. She's like, that's a boy's instrument.
Oh my gosh, really?
But ma'am.
What did you want to play? Alto?
Yeah.
Yeah, alto's great.
I think that was like partially like Lisa Simpson.
Hell yes, yes.
Channeling my inner Lisa Simpson.
Does it seem like, not being Chinese,
mm-hmm.
personally, I think maybe it's apparent. I don't know, it's hard to say. But is pressure and expectation something that day in, day out that you experience with your folks?
Absolutely. I mean, even, oh my gosh, that's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, just having them try to understand like what I'm trying to do here in Austin.
It's got to be really difficult for them, right?
It's a big deal. They're not big drinkers. Like my mom doesn't drink at all. My dad will occasionally have a like Budweiser or a Remy.
Oh, nice.
I know, right? Classy.
There you go, luxury.
But it's hard to translate what I'm trying to do here into, I don't know.
No, right, because bartending, people, it's almost like an insult. Like it's you're just a bartender.
Like that's what people, I feel like in their eyes, it's kind of like working in the hospitality industry is something you do if you didn't go to school or something, just to make ends meet. But
it can be and is, at least now, turning into something that is quite lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, talk about your mates, your bosses at Roosevelt Room. I know Justin went to college for a bit. I know Dennis did kind of a little bit maybe, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to follow that path anymore.
Right.
What industries were they in, your mother and father?
Oh, man. So it's kind of crazy where they came from. I mean, my dad has a really crazy past where he lost his parents at a really young age. And
in China, I imagine. Yeah,
and then he like swam from China to Hong Kong to get away from communist China.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm dead serious. It's like you go at night, and I forget, maybe it's like 5 miles or something, but it's still crazy. And he was even like, oh, there are parts of the water where there's sharks, and you could possibly, get eaten or drown.
Your life
which
is like on the line, right?
And it's totally common for someone trying to swim, and they just can't keep up, and they drown. It's insane.
Yeah, insane. It is incredible as well because he made it.
Yeah.
And he basically swam to Hong Kong.
Right.
Did your mother have a similar piece where she had to escape, more or less?
I don't know. With my mom, she never really talks about her past.
Really?
Like, ever.
Why do you think
it's
that
kind
is?
of, I don't know. I think something really, really tragic happened, and it's kind of a sensitive subject, so.
Sure. But so when you think about being transparent and talking about those things, do you want your mom to talk to you about that stuff?
Absolutely.
Right. Just be open about it.
Well, I think just in our culture, we're very, I don't know, we don't talk about feelings much, especially like my parents are so traditional. It's you just kind of keep to yourself, really. Like,
yeah. Which is the opposite in a sense of being in the hospitality industry.
Right.
You're dealing with people that are pouring their emotions out.
Right.
Does that maybe, if I think about the psychology of this stuff, which I tend to do, being in a place where people are constantly telling you really how they feel, and perhaps they've had a bad day, perhaps it's been a bad fucking year. Does that make you feel a little bit more connected to people and like the depth of their personalities?
For sure.
Yeah. Because I imagine it's hard.
It is hard.
Especially coming from a place where people aren't talking about anything. What about your brother then? Is he a little more open and a little more westernized?
Yeah, I mean, he was born in Hong Kong, and he was like, I feel like he was like the perfect child,
Yeah.
He doesn't drink really or smoke. And
that does not make someone
very,
perfect.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like in my parents' eyes, just like went to school and he was a good kid and
follow the path.
Yeah, follow the path. And I feel like he didn't really break any barriers for me.
Right.
So when I was growing up, it's kind of like, what happened? Like,
yeah, because they're thinking, we got one that worked out, right?
Yeah.
Straight and narrow, fits the mold.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have this spark to do something different. To go to college, and we'll talk about that if you ended up going that route, but did it just feel uncomfortable to have to follow that path? Like you rebelled because that was what felt better. Yeah.
I feel like it was definitely a struggle for me because I wanted to do what made me happy, but at the same time, it was very important to make my parents proud as well.
Yeah. It's hard.
So
it's a duality.
It is really hard.
Is it harder being a woman in that culture too?
I think so.
Yeah. Something
you have to really prove yourself.
Really?
Yes.
It seems so tough. So then the expectation is you go to college, of course, right? Did you want to pursue that, or did you pursue that?
I did not. I didn't finish college, actually.
But you started it, I guess, yeah?
I did, yeah. I just had no interest in studying something that I didn't really care about. I'm just like, I'm just going to do the hospitality thing because it makes me happy.
Something that can connect you.
Right. Been doing it since I was 17.
17, really?
That's like all I've ever known.
That's incredible. So, I'm trying to figure. You meet good people that way? Was that a nice way, working in hospitality, to break away from the family in a way? Kind of like create your own identity?
I guess that. And the money was pretty awesome as well.
You could go back and say, hey, look, I've got the money,
Yeah.
Do you ever think about going back to college and going back on that expected path?
I guess.
Yeah. Doesn't really interest you?
Maybe just a little.
Yeah.
For funsies.
Yeah. But nothing committed to it, I guess. Well, so this journey then, ultimately, we're here, we're in Austin, and that's where I met you at the Roosevelt Room. How does someone who is diving into hospitality, and this point is East Bay, or this is like the hospitality piece? Tell me a little bit about East Bay. Is that Oakland area?
Well, I actually worked in the peninsula for most of my bartending.
Tell me about
career,
where
just because there's way more money.
More money.
Like I worked in Menlo Park, like Palo Alto, right by Stanford.
All
the Stanford kids just throwing money at you. It's great.
That's good. Yeah. How did it feel like you were able to break away even more and learn so much more being in that kind of environment?
I mean, honestly, I didn't really learn anything. I was just kind of stagnant and just like making all the monies, and just
because that is that. If you think of so, family is probably one of the key values, right?
Yeah.
Money is definitely a value. does making that money make you feel like, okay, well, I don't care what my parents think at that point because I'm successful financially?
No.
No,
I wouldn't say that.
that's for you.
Yeah, for sure.
What kind of life were you living at that point? Partying, is that kind of your forte?
I was mainly, honestly, making money to like cook really good food,
Really?
going out to eat, and just drinking and having a good time with my friends.
Just
That's
lust
like
for life.
a lot of food.
Yeah.
A lot of food.
What kind of food were you into at that point, and something
Oh
maybe
my
you
god,
still
all
like?
the kinds.
Yeah. Does it?
Asian, Thai, Indian, all the kinds.
Is there anything particular that you like to make?
I honestly have so many cookbooks at home and so many bookmarks. And I try to cook something different every single time.
Do you really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love it. I mean, honestly, if I could, I would just host parties and be Martha Stewart.
Well, why not
Or
do that?
Anna. I would love to.
What's preventing you from doing that?
I mean, I kind of did it for a while, like for friends, you know?
Yeah.
It's not even for me. It's just cooking for others, and it makes me happy.
Kind of the hospitality element of it,
Mm-hmm.
in a way, sharing. Right?
Yeah,
And we were
exactly.
downstairs actually, and I was like, "You have all these bottles. Why would you share them?"
Yeah.
Like, because that is what it's about.
Exactly.
So, an amazing host. You're making good money. When you think about family, and you think at this point, right before you even moved to Texas, kind of establishing and having kids and that kind of thing, was that something that was of interest to you? Because it seems like in conflict to the nightlife and
Mhm.
working behind a bar.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Having kiddos, that's a lot.
It is, right?
I feel like I go back and forth with that. Like, I'll see little kids and I'm like, oh, I want one of those. And then I'll see like a little shit running around. I'm like, I definitely don't want one of those.
Taking notes. I don't want one like that.
Yeah.
Can I choose? Am I able to choose here?
Yeah, exactly.
It is. It's a strange thing. Do you in any way feel obligated to have kids?
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you get some freedom
Right.
there. So then, all right. Well, I don't want to guess because I never want to presume what brings you to Texas. Is it a job? Is it a boy? It's a boy.
My boyfriend at the time, we were dating and he got a job promotion,
Yeah.
got offered a job promotion and
What
a
kind of
raise here
industry
in
was he
Austin.
in?
Sales.
Sales. Got it.
Yeah. So he was like, do you want to come with me? And I was like, sure, okay, let's do it. So yeah, we packed everything up and drove 26 hours and here we are.
How many years ago was that?
3.
3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And roughly your mid-20s, your late 20s?
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I'm actually 33.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm giving you a good amount of credit. You spent a good decade hanging out in California and doing this thing. No, I mean, it's one of those things that the life can really cause you to wrinkle, figuratively and metaphorically,
Mm-hmm.
So do you do things to make sure you keep fresh and healthy and all of that?
A lot of white rice and whiskey.
White rice and whiskey.
No joke.
That's really?
Yeah.
Tell me the methodology there. I'm not arguing with it because there's plenty of people that say a whiskey a day keeps death away.
Oh man, I don't know. I just do it just because it feels good.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you're here. You moved 3 years ago with a gentleman in sales. That's got to be difficult. The 9 to 5 for him, I imagine, and then you're working quite late.
Uh-huh.
Does that cause any tension between you guys?
No, not at all.
No, it's pretty good.
It was fine.
So he's all right with it.
Yeah.
But I guess this thing unfolds or unravels a little bit, and you're left in Austin. Did you know many people here besides him when you moved?
I mean, let's see. It took me 3 months to find work, which was really crazy for me.
That is actually surprising.
And I tried so hard. Maybe I was being a little picky about
Yeah.
where I wanted to work, but
Did you have any places you're like, I really want to work there?
it was
3 years
funny
ago?
because I actually wanted to apply at Pesce.
Did you really?
But I didn't know anything about anything. Like,
Yeah.
I just learned to make my first Negroni, like, maybe 6 months prior to that.
No kidding.
Prior to moving, yeah.
So you were a speed bartender? Is that a fair word for
Uh-huh,
it?
yeah.
And so this kind of is like a culture shock then? Saying like,
Mm-hmm.
so 3 months, what are some other places that you really wanted to work at that point?
I think I had my eye on, I forget what other restaurants.
Yeah.
Just,
They may not even be around there.
yeah, I don't even remember, honestly. I applied at like every place that looked like they had nice cocktails.
Knowing that maybe they needed a little deeper understanding about maybe the history of cocktails or technique.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do anything to kind of change your skills and change the way that you were making, or just kind of waited it out until you found the right thing?
Yeah, I just waited out. Like, I didn't know what I was doing.
It's a vast difference from now, it seems like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the first gig then?
The peach tortilla.
Oh, shit, the one on Burnett.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. Well, I don't want to say it, but isn't that is owned by some amazing Asian Americans, is it not?
Uh-huh.
Does that help? I'm not, I'm treading lightly on this topic, but
Does it help?
does it help being Asian working for Asians? Is there a
I
type
think so. I kind of made a joke. Like,
right?
did I get hired because I'm Asian? And
I'm not suggesting that you did. I'm just curious if it helped.
like, I will sell the shit out of your chow fun.
How was that experience working over there?
No, it was great.
You like it?
Yeah, I mean, they were doing some cool stuff, like barrel aging cocktails, and
good food too.
yeah, the food was amazing.
So, did it wear out its welcome? Did you see that you needed to do something a little more and richer, maybe creative?
Yes and no. I mean, I also wanted to make a little more money.
Yeah, we're going back to money again, and that's all right. But
I got bills to pay.
I know. Well, we all have bills to pay. Well, what about don't you think there's an interesting balance between making sure you make money and you can pay your bills, but also feeling fulfilled kind of creatively?
Mm-hmm.
It's a slippery slope, yeah?
For sure.
So,
yeah, and it's the first time I actually feel like I'm able to take care of myself and be creative, and I don't know,
that's great.
Like, I feel awake for once,
Awoken.
Like awoken.
It's probably not the right way to say that word.
I mean, that sounds right.
We'll call it here and say, that's right. How long were you at Peach Tortilla?
A little over a year.
Yeah. And then...
I actually got hired at Wu Chow.
Did you really?
As well. So I was working at the Peach Tortilla, Wu Chow, and then I cross-trained at Swift's.
Yeah.
So I had 3 jobs, and then I started at the Roosevelt room, so technically I had
4 jobs at some point?
But that wasn't unusual for me. I mean, I'm a workaholic. I'm totally okay with that. Yes.
Do you get enough sleep?
What's that?
Yes. Fair. Well, why? Why? I'm the same way. I have to always kind of constantly be spinning my wheels, working on something.
Mm-hmm.
And, maybe that comes at the cost of personal relationships sometimes because you're always so busy and there's not much left for someone. But for you, do you know where that comes from, that just kind of desire to keep hustling? Is it the money again?
I don't know. I just want to be busy constantly. Yeah. I get bored.
Do you?
Yeah.
But not ADD kind of bored. You just want to keep moving things.
Uh-huh.
So Roosevelt Room, then this opportunity. Is this the one that you're like, okay, well, I'm going to break up with all the other boys and I'm going to do this full time?
Sorry, I got to go.
Because it was igniting something in you say? Like you're
I think it was that whole like culinary thing again. Just like being able to play, and I don't know, just walking in there for the first time, I was like, oh my God, these guys are doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to be a part of that.
What was your first impression of the place when you walked in?
Oh my gosh, my head exploded. It's beautiful, Yeah. But just like reading their house cocktail list, I was like, what is that? I don't even know what those things are, but I want to learn all about it.
Was it overwhelming?
A little bit, yeah.
It is kind of a daunting place, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Where do I start? Where do I start on this big list of things?
Yeah, exactly.
But you found that your relationship, like with Dennis or Justin or probably Alex at the time, that those were guys that you could learn a lot from?
Mm-hmm. And that's what I needed.
Yeah. Would you call it something as far as like a mentorship?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was just wanting to grow so badly at that point in my life, and they're giving that to me.
Yeah.
And still are. I mean, they're investing so much in me, and like they're sending me to bar 5-day.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's scary, but very exciting as well.
Was there a spirit when you think about, so this is an interesting thing, because this all makes sense. It's an evolution, right? So you're starting in one place, you learn more from another place. There's still some culinary elements, and of course, great cocktails have incredible culinary elements. I mean, like, the cigar. What's the smoky one that you guys do?
Cigar box?
Thank you, the
Yep.
cigar box. I mean, that's culinary in itself.
It's pretty genius.
It's pretty genius.
Mm-hmm.
Poet's muse,
Mm-hmm.
using the umami of mushrooms and
Yep.
stuff, you know. So it seems like a great fit. When you think about all the spirits that were back there that you've had the opportunity to try, was there something that when you tasted it, you realized, I think I can learn even more. I'm really interested in spirits now. This thing is kind of expanding for me.
I think gin was a huge one.
Was it?
I was never a huge fan, and I learned that, oh my god, there's so many different kinds,
Yeah.
and they're all so different, and I just want to make like all the different things with it, you know? I mean,
Do you have some liberties there to go and get creative when you want to?
for sure.
Yeah. Do they encourage that kind of behavior?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when we think about, because of course we're sipping some vino de mezcal from the state of Mexico, perplexing me, right? I don't know what to think about this. It's like 43 of 50 bottles, something like that. Thank you, Aaron, for donating this bottle to me. Did agave, because obviously there's this deep, rich passion for agave between Justin, Alex, Dennis. For you as well? Did it open up your mind a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. And when I first got hired on, they were like, oh, we're sending the whole staff to Oaxaca to taste mezcal.
Poor
And
you.
I know, and I was like, damn, like, can I get time off from my 3 other jobs? Like,
Yeah.
that's going to be hard. So I didn't end up going, but...
You didn't go?
No, I
Oh, I didn't
didn't. I
know that. I thought
couldn't.
you went.
No, I wish.
Have you been since?
Mm-mm.
What do you think about it? When do you like still dream kind of to go down
Oh
there?
my gosh, yes, I'm dying to.
What appeals to you? What about agave appeals to you?
I think probably the history.
Yeah.
Especially like Del Maguey, like I want to go to all these villages and meet these people that make these amazing spirits. Like,
Yeah.
it's incredible. Their backstory, you know?
And sometimes like they don't to think that I will maybe never meet the guy who made this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if we're drinking a bourbon, we'll probably meet those guys, right? Some white guys from Kentucky. Fine. But it's very profound to think that this bottle transported its way all the way to us. I don't even know what's made. I think it's about two years old. But there's something really profound and kind of interesting about it.
Yeah. This is pretty magical.
It is pretty... I'm actually really impressed with this particular Vino de Mezcal de Oaxaca offering. Well, so then when you think about your career, things have kept moving forward progressively. And there's obviously the element of family, which you say you're kind of for sometimes, and then those little bitch-ass kids sometimes are like totally against it.
Yeah.
But where does this go for you? Do you want to own your own place? Would you like to represent a brand?
I don't know. I'm just trying to take baby steps right now. I guess I'm just trying to focus on Bar 5 Day.
Yeah. When is that this year?
January.
January. Oh, so next in 2018.
It's right around the corner.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel prepared?
Ish.
Yeah. What's your weakest subject, do you think?
I think blind tasting is going to be a challenge for me.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I just don't think I've developed that palate yet.
Mm.
Just still really being new to this. I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, every day. But
Mm-hmm.
you get a large library of stuff. All right. So when you pass Bar 5 Day,
Mm-hmm.
what are you thinking about past that? Or, and I'm not trying to get to like, where are you in 10 years? Not driving at that, but do you want a bigger role at the Roosevelt Room?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I'm pretty happy where I am right now. I definitely see myself being with them long term.
Yeah.
They're my familia.
La Familia.
Yeah, la familia.
Where does the Eleanor fit into the mix?
So as you know, CARE's going to be HBIC.
Yeah.
Um,
No, what is HBIC?
Head bitch in charge.
Oh, right. See, I know LOL and FML.
What is
right?
this lingo? I don't know. Yeah, but no, we're super excited. I mean, we were brainstorming about pop-ups to do
Oh, no kidding.
at the Eleanor. Oh, yeah. And of course, naturally she's going to want to do something that has to do with agave
Of course.
pairings, which I totally did because it's like, teach me all the things.
Right.
And then me, I just want to do like some weird like Asian shit,
Have you been to Shanghai recently? level of detail and the way they look at flavor there, because in a way it feels like the shackles are off and creativity is at an all-time high. It's one of the most inspiring movements that I've ever been able to witness, you know? So I think that's a great time to bring those Asian flavors in to the mix.
Yeah.
So all right, you talk about pop-up. What might be an amazing pop-up that you would like to organize?
I don't know. Like, I definitely brought up doing something that has to do with like tea service, you know,
Oh,
like traditional,
yeah.
like Chinese tea service. But yeah,
Man, no, I think that
it's
would be
just an
good.
idea.
I think we don't do a lot of large format cocktails in a sense. It doesn't have to be large, but even medium size format. I like that. If you were to have a musical guest to come and help, hype up the mood of the pop-up, is there anybody you'd like to just bring into the joint? Because you've got an event space right next door, right?
I guess it depends which one are we talking about? Are we doing agave or are we doing the Asian thing?
Okay, that's a great question. Let's say I love the tea service idea, because tea and cocktails is just a lovely, lovely thing. So you get to make some cocktails, you get to do a tea service, maybe even some fucking finger sandwiches, sounds really good right now. Some cucumber cream cheese. Who might you bring in? Like, what do you think would be a good way to support that musically?
I'm trying to think of an artist that's super chillax.
Yeah.
Like Tycho.
There you go.
Tycho?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that makes
pretty
sense.
cool.
Everybody would be. I fear that maybe they wouldn't be drinking the cocktails and they'd be watching the show. It's hard to build that balance.
Yeah.
Do you think about brand work though? I know that you're kind of in the moment and working with Roosevelt Room and growing as much as possible, but do you think about that, traveling and talking about spirits and all?
I mean, I would love to travel, but haven't really thought about brand work. But I definitely have like cocktail competitions on my mind lately.
Have you competed recently?
Bombay was like the first one I've ever
really?
done.
Well, Alexis was doing that too, right?
I think she did that the year before.
Oh, got it. Got it. You like that as a vehicle for your mind and your culinary prowess?
Absolutely, and I've never been like a competitive type of person, you know. Yeah. But it's kind of pushing me to do so, and it's really exciting.
Is it unleashing a beast of some
I'm just
sort?
like, I want to kick everyone's ass kind of thing, and make some weird shit.
And it's a great avenue, and it often leads to the brand ambassador roles for people. You know, they win a few competitions for a particular brand, and then the brand brings them on, and then you're out there traveling, talking. All right, so talking about being in front of a crowd. You're pretty comfortable from behind the bar.
Right.
And you like the human interaction piece? You like connecting with people? Mm-hmm. Do you think that you have some interest in being an educator? Being someone that can not only travel, which interests you, but go out there into a room of people you don't know and talk about something and educate them and be the expert?
Yeah, that would be badass.
Yeah? So you're comfortable with public speaking and all that?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, just the idea terrifies the living hell out of me.
Why?
I don't know.
It's just nerve-wracking?
I feel like I'm really shy at some, like, I'm getting all like, thinking about it, like, public speaking, my good. No, I can be, like, very open and quirky on one-on-one basis, you know, with people, but just, like, the idea of speaking in front of a crowd is kind of terrifying. Even, like, presenting my cocktail for Bombay, I was like, like, stuttering and just totally forgetting my whole spiel. Yeah. It was a lot.
Does it take practice, you think?
Yeah, for sure.
But you're open to it.
Yes.
More
absolutely.
And more practice. Mm-hmm. It's good. I think that's an interesting piece. And the thing that, having talked to many, many bartenders and various tenures, some people have been in the industry for 20 years, some of which have been in the industry less than 2 years, 3 years. Having seen, and I know there's been turnover at the Roosevelt Room, right? You seem to have this sense of stability, that you're willing to put in the time, that nothing is beneath you, right? Like, you'll clean if you have to. Do you notice more and more in this industry that perhaps folks are really wanting to fast track their way to the top without truly putting in the time?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel? Does it irritate you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I feel nothing.
See, I know that there's no way that is true.
I don't know. I'm not really worried about
Yeah.
other people and their things. I mean, I'm just gonna work hard and just try to.
Make the best path for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is so interesting because I like that with many of the people I've never met him before. So we've met, but I've never talked to you at length about your life,
Right.
your background, and like you're immensely humble. You know, do you feel like that's a piece of you? I think that it is. Not too showy, but always willing to put in the work.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So moving on to a different subject altogether. We're in summer. We're in Texas. What do you think's a great drink? A really refreshing drink? Not like right this moment, because this mezcal's doing the fucking trick. But what are people kind of into? What are some trends you seeing here for summer?
I don't know. Daiquiris all day, I guess.
Daiquiris all day, right? And people come into the Roosevelt room and you've got this massive board, and you think that they're pretty open to trying anything back there?
I feel like most people are.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to guide them. Most people are kind of scared, you know?
What do you do to try to help them just understand?
Just
This
ask them a
isn't
million
so
questions
difficult.
like, what do you like? What do you usually drink?
Yeah.
Do you want something citrusy?
They always say not sweet though, right?
Yeah, always.
What are you drinking now? Not in this moment, but just for you, what's the post-shift drink?
Man, beer
Beer?
and mezcal Negronis. That's my jam right now.
Yeah. What is it? The smokiness, I guess?
I think so.
Yeah.
Smoky, bitter, sweet.
It's culinary.
All the things. It's
Yeah.
so culinary.
So Roosevelt Room is doing great business. The owner is expanding the business. Kara's coming in. You're going to have a cool kind of ability to do mashups and stuff like that. I call them mashups because I really want people to like come in with music.
I like that.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's pop-up, but thinking about, I'm trying to, hone in on what you find particularly interesting. So this is a question that I ask everybody on the show, and, asked Kara just the other day. And let's say you're drinking a mezcal Negroni anywhere in the world, but a bar that you really, really like. And you can sit there and have a conversation and ask questions and inquire as much as you want with anybody, living or deceased. Who might you love to just pick their brain at the bar with?
It's the easy one, Julia Child.
Oh my God, that's perfect. Do you know what Julia Child's drank?
No.
You know she drank, but I wonder what her drink of choice was.
Curious.
Yeah, pastis, but I feel like she'd go harder than that.
Oh, yeah. She's a badass.
And she was quite a tall woman.
Yeah.
She could probably outdrink us both, you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you suggest that Julia Child's drinks? Being in such a position.
Maybe brandy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then tying all this back, this interesting journey you've had and still trying to like make sense, like your parents trying to make sense of it because bartenders, right? It's like a fucking garbage man. Really, it's just blue collar, but so much more money in it, as you've shown. There's so much more reverence for the occupation itself. Do you think that if you were able to bring, let's say, your dad into the Roosevelt Room, assuming that he hasn't already been there, and sit him down in this fancy place and amazing ambiance, and make him a really delicious, culinary-focused drink, what do you think? You think you'd be able to turn him?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Woo, I just got the chills when you said that. That would be something I would love so much for my family to come see me.
Have they been to Austin yet to visit?
No.
Yeah.
They have never seen me bartend.
But to you, that's an opportunity to share
Mm-hmm.
that thing that you really kind of
Look what I can do.
Yeah. But not showing off. It's like a deeply intellectual
Yeah.
and culinary focused
Mm-hmm.
thing. You think it would ever happen?
I would hope so.
Yeah.
I think it'll happen in the near future, for sure. That would make me so happy.
Everything kind of coming full circle.
Mm-hmm. I think they would. I feel like if they came to visit and just saw, or came to visit and just watched me do whatever I do,
Yeah, in your element.
they would finally understand. I think, maybe.
Yeah, I think they would.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the zone when you're back there.
Mm-hmm.
You're in control of things, and you have such a nice insight about it. I can't help but think that they'd be like, okay, all right, fine. You're right. We get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now make me another drink.
Yeah.
Please.
That would be incredible.
Well, maybe it'll happen, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, good. So I'm just excited that there are, I don't know, is it bad that I am proud to talk to powerful females, right?
No.
I think that's, you guys have such a great bit of ambition, you and Kara both. It is a very, very, like a forged strength behind the bar there. And you guys have brilliant minds, and it really, really makes me feel great to be able to talk to you guys and see you really thriving. So, Sharon, thank you so much for chatting with me and sipping the mezcal. I know you're not one used to the press. You did a good job. Prost,
Cheers.
Sip the mezcal and, Godspeed on all this stuff. And I'll see you guys very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, there we have it. Sharon Yeung of the Roosevelt Room. A bit shy beyond the bar, but behind it has complete control of the experience, the ingredients, and those interactions. It was a really interesting experience for me, and I think Sharon was a little reticent to talk about her life in that way, and there's lots of family tradition on the line, in a sense, lots of things that she's still trying to make sure she mends with her mother and father. So maybe a deeply psychological chat, I don't know, but it was really great to sit down and chat with Sharon about her life. So thanks everybody for listening to Show to V with Mike G. As I mentioned on Facebook last night, if you happen to see Emma Thompson on an old episode of Cheers, you're thinking, man, I finally am going to finish Bones after all of those 12 seasons, please keep dancing.